And now it's time for a preview of an upcoming game by Tom Vasel.
Gangster games, a fun theme, and here's a game called Bootleggers. Now, Bootleggers came out quite a while ago, published by Eagle Games, and is now on Kickstarter, and is being done by Mayday in association with Eagle Games, and being republished. And it's basically the same thing. They're making some minor, fixing up, making the rules a little nicer, making the trucks look a little better. What am I even talking about, though? Bootleggers, the game of mobsters. There's a lot of mobster games out there, but very few of them actually feel like a mobster game. This one does. Let me show you a brief overview of how it's played. Here's the board of the game, which shows a bunch of speakeasies here. And at the bottom, you see a bunch of people that you can hire. And each player is going to get a color of their choice, which has their still on it. Also tells you how to play the game. And they're going to get a bunch of plastic pieces, mobsters, of their color. These pieces are influence markers, and they'll put one of them in their back room, and they'll get ready to go. Also, players are going to have handed out to them from this deck of muscle. Now, this is separated into 4 color decks. I have them mixed together here, but you can see that there's 4 different colors, and each of these colors has a range of numbers. The red color is from 1 to 20, the green is from 20 to 40, the yellow is from 40 to 60, and the blue is from 60 to 80, and then they have a number. You're going to have 3 cards from each deck, because there's 12 rounds in the game. Each round you're going to play a card, and that will show you where you'll be in turn order that turn. It helps break ties and things like that. Now, you can decide that you want to go first in the first turns or the last turns, because everyone has at least 3 of the blue ones. And they also have a certain cost. So you can see this guy who's 18 costs 1, the guy who's 66 costs 4, while if I get a guy that costs 5, he costs me nothing. Also probably an inept gangster. And so what players will do once they've played one at the beginning of each round is they are going to then determine which one of these cards they're going to take. And they'll take these cards that they can save for future use or immediately. That will give them an improvement marker. They can improve the speakeasies up here. They can improve their stills. They can buy a remote still and use that. And players can even buy more trucks. Each player starts with a truck, and a truck, it's hard to see. Let's see if we can pull it off here. You can't see very well here, but there is a 4 on this truck right here. And that shows us that this truck can carry 4 crates of moonshine. Now, I know I can fit 4 in there, but some trucks can carry more. If you buy a medium truck here, you see that you can get 6 crates into that one. Players will start with 1, but they can buy more trucks, and there's a maintenance cost to that. After players have taken cards, then they'll start putting influence markers in the speakeasies. You can put an influence marker wherever you want, but once there's enough influence markers to cover up all the dark spots, that speakeasy is open. Now, O'Malley's is always open, but now Texas Little is open, but this one here is not open because not all the dark spots are filled. When the dark spots are filled, if you can control a speakeasy if you have more than anyone else and more than everyone else. You have the majority if you have more than anyone else but less than everyone else combined. And then you have influence there, some influence if you just have, a guy in the spot. After that happens, players are going to produce moonshine crates. How will you do that? Well, you're going to roll a die for your still. Each still comes with a die, and this game has nice little small dice that you can place on your still. And if you improve your still, you can get more dice that you'll roll. And you'll roll all these dice, and that shows how much moonshine you make. The problem is, after a certain turn, the copper is going to come around, and he's going to go to the person who produced the most moonshine. And if you roll a 5 when the copper's there, well, then you're not going to be getting moonshine that turn. After that, players have to deliver their moonshine. You have a whole bunch of it that you want to send in to these speakeasies, but what you have to do then is you have to load it up in your trucks. If you have more moonshine than trucks, then you can sell it to the other players. If you have more trucks than moonshine, you can rent your truck to somebody else. There's all kinds of things that you can do, all sorts of deals that you can make, and then these trucks will go to each one. There's 3 lines here because if a guy has majority or controlling power, he goes first and he gets to unload his stuff before everyone else. Everyone else then unloads their stuff if you have a share in it, and that's done again by using those muscle cards to determine who goes first. That breaks the ties on the trucks. And then if you don't have any influence here, you go here, but then you have to get permission from the guy who owns it to unload it. The guy who owns it's going to get a profit off every crate that's dropped there, and everybody else is going to get a profit who delivers the moonshine there. And as the speakeasies get bigger as the game progresses, you're going to get more profits and more moonshine. But again, cards can be played during this phase. You can steal people's trucks, you can stop them, you can shut down a speakeasy, you can improve a speakeasy to give more profit to everybody involved. There's all sorts of things, but you're going to do that, and then you go and start the next round. After 12 rounds, everyone counts up all their money, and whoever has the most money is the winner of the game. Now, the game comes with a whole pile of plastic. We have a whole pile of these plastic trucks, and we have piles of these plastic people, and we have these wooden cubes that are used as the moonshine crates. And then the cards, they have nice artwork on them. There's all sorts of things. Like here you get a production die for one of your stills. Here you can improve one of the speakeasies. Here you can take 2 production dice or start a new remote still. But these are the things that are fun. You can play in a still and destroy a remote still or a still improvement. Here you can play in a speakeasy, destroy an influence marker there. And you're going to get to put out 1 influence marker each turn, but these cards might allow you to put out more or stop other people from putting out influence markers. Here you can buy influence markers through city politics. And the rules will allow you to play these cards and to make offers. I'm going to play this card. Wait, I'll pay you $1. The game comes with loads of cash that you will be able to use to pay off one another and just generally be evil and mean towards one another. That's what I enjoy most about Bootleggers, is just the fact that you can make all sorts of deals. And, you also play act, too. When I would deliver, I'd put some of my influence markers on the truck, and they're guarding the truck, and we'd go in, and we'd pull out all the gangster quotes, because that was the theme that the game evokes. There's a lot of take that in the game. I stole your truck, I did this. There's a lot of wheeling and dealing in the game. And there's randomness. You're rolling dice, you never know what's going to happen, drawing cards. It's a good solid game that really didn't get a lot of fanfare when it came out, but I'm so glad now that it's being reproduced. So you have a chance to get involved with the Kickstarter for this. Check it out in just a moment. I'm going to give you the link, and you can go and get this game reprinted so you can get a copy of it.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.